Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today is another big day, another first for me. It's going to be a tool restoration video. I posted a little video a couple weeks ago about kind of getting some ideas and some feedback from you guys on how I should go about this. And so going with that, a couple of y'all suggested that I should do it in different parts so it's not super long. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm at least going to do this in two parts. The restoration part, and depending on what condition this is after I get it all unseized, because all of the parts are locked in at the moment. It may just be one video that's restoration and then a reveal video and a brief history on the tool itself. And why I want to do the history of it is because all of these tools are potentially well over 100 years old, and they're still with us today, which is a pretty incredible feat as far as engineering is concerned. And a lot of them are unique, especially this one. And I have to say, this is probably the most unique plane that I own. And I want to kind of show you that before I get into the cleaning process with a close-up right now. So here we have it. This is the EC Stearns number 13 flexible sole spoke shave. And that right there is what makes it so special. Typically, you would have to pick between a flat sole, a curved sole. You can't have both. Well, with this one, this plate flexes as it slides and you can lock it into place. And I can't wait to get it working, and hopefully I can. Everything is very seized up right now, and so what I'm gonna do is basically just dunk it in some WD-40 and let it soak for a little bit. It'll let me see the condition of the japanning on the handles. This is brass, so this will polish up real nice. And I just kind of want to point out something real quick. The patent date is March 1900, and they made this up until 1930. So this plane has definitely seen better days, and I could only imagine the stories that it could tell. So hopefully I will be able to get this plane nice and clean. Alright, so what I have here is a tub with some WD-40 in it, and why I'm using that is it penetrates as well as it can displace moisture, so it's not going to cause any more rust to build up. And so always wear gloves, just because your hands are essentially sponges for your body, so whatever you get on your hands is going to go inside you. So I'm just going to dunk it in there. It fits just barely. I've got me a little spray. Just going to make sure everything gets a nice coat. So I've got it sitting here, and it's been completely soaked in the WD-40, and so occasionally I'm just going to come and kind of wiggle parts and see if anything can break free, and as they do, I'm going to set the parts aside. So now it's just a waiting game. Alright, so got all the pieces off, and now I'm going to use a nylon brush just to kind of scrub it. Is this removable? It is. Potentially. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, see if I can use my punch this rod out, holding it in, and slide this out to get a further clean. Alright, so I was unsuccessful at knocking this pin out that holds this rod in. So what I think I'm going to do, if I can just get it out of this housing, like that, just, oh, well, there you have it. That's how you get it out. Very easily. So now I'm just going to brush all of this down, wipe it off, and see what I have. So I've actually got these brushes. Just picked them up at AutoZone. They come in a 3-pack for a couple bucks, and they have just different coarseness. I'll be using this one just to get as much of the pitting, the rust in the pitting as I can off. It's essentially the same as the wire wheel brush. That I'll use to clean this up after I can get as much off as I can. So I wiped it down just a little bit so it's not just dripping everywhere. As you can see, kind of the rust just kind of bubbling up. So I can see that this part actually has Japanning on it. So using this brush, I'm able to see if it's going to damage the paint any. If it's too coarse. Because I'd like to keep the original Japanning, the paint, on it as much as possible. Doesn't look like it's messing it up at all, actually. And so the finished product, what I saw online, this right here, this piece of metal, this right here, actually needs to be, I guess, polished, clean. So I'll use the wire wheel on that, and then that plate that I was working on just a minute ago will actually inset in there, become flush. This will just polish up, and that's pretty much it. Anxious to see what's left on here. So I'm going to start with actually the finer brush for the handles. Alright, so it's already looking significantly better, and if you cook with cast iron skillets, that's basically what it looks like where the paint has come off, just like a seasoned skillet. So I think I'm not going to strip it down. I'm just going to finish scrubbing and just leave it how it is, and I'll put a coat of wax on it, and that'll just be that. I just like the authenticity of it being all original. So now I'll just keep on digging for parts in the muck. Alright, so that is all the scrubbing complete, and that's going to conclude the part 1 of this series. It's going to be more than just a 2-part for sure now that I'm this deep into it. I still have to wire wheel the parts along with flattening the soles if they need sanded, and then polishing everything up along with sharpening the blade so I can at least use it. So it's looking like a 3, maybe 4-part series, but that's it for this video. So until next time, see ya.